Hi everyone. Just making sure everything is good to go. But yeah, I know a lot of you are... Okay, I saw this whole thing on Twitter between Brett Cooper and Clavicular, and basically the two sides that I'm seeing on this situation are either she is a hoe for smiling at him, or everyone else is being ridiculous because how can you say someone's a hoe for smiling at someone? And I just feel like everyone's missing the bigger picture here and focusing on the wrong thing. And I'm not saying this, as you guys know, I'm very critical of a lot of things about the red pill and a lot of the promoted characters, let's call them, of the red pill. However, just because I am critical of them does not mean that I'm going to forego being honest about my opinion or joking about it by just having the default position of being against it. It's kind of like if you were just like, yeah, my politics are anti-Trump. It's like that, and that's not how I am. Not everyone is always going to side with me, but I looked into it, and I do feel like Brett Cooper handled this badly. And I'm going to go over why I think that. I don't think it's just in a vacuum that she smiled at him and then all of the incels went crazy because she smiled at him. Like, yeah, of course there are some people who went crazy because she smiled at him. But I think it's I think people are having a hard time articulating why it was off-putting, what was so bad about it, considering that her branding, at least it's perceived to be aligned with traditional values enough to where this was a problem. Even if she doesn't identify as trad, something about her marketing in her becoming more famous has registered to people as trad. So basically, people feel like she's a traitor to her branding. And I think that's why there's this big reaction. And it's like, okay, well, how is she a traitor to her branding? Well, people, because they view her as traditional, and she's going to New York and doing this glamorous photo shoot. Some people called it risque, but I guess, again, it's enough for her branding to conflict in the public's eye for this to go viral, right? Also, hi guys, I see the chat. So when you have someone that's a mom, I believe she's a newborn, that's like 6 months old or something like that, she's freshly married, her values are conservative, or at least conservative adjacent, right? Parallel to it, pretty close to it, whatever term you want to use. And additionally, she's going to New York, and people at first thought she was going to New York because, oh, well, she's going alone. She's going to, like, meet Clavicular. And I feel like people got it wrong there. So she went there with her husband and kid, but she did kind of go there in a way to meet him. And I'm going to explain to you guys why I think that that's technically true, even though she says it's not. But before we get into that, can I just quickly show you guys Nick Fuentes blocked me? I just thought that was so funny. Hold on. So, Nick was queening out at this.
Standing there, I don't understand.
Oh, you trust?
My girl of the night,
That's your girl?
Yeah.
Are you retarded or what? Did you not just see?
I just met her, you just met her. You probably spent the same amount of time as me. I know at the end of the day, you're probably not gonna see her. You have her. You have her.
This dude's fucking.
You have all these other girls. You get all these girls.
So he's like, you have all these other girls. Why are you going after my girl?
Are you asking me for mercy?
I'm not a beggar. It's fine. You got it, bro. You're the better man. I'm a humble guy. There's more fish in the sea.
So, I don't know about you guys, but at this point, whether this is real or not, I just assume everything Clavicular does is fake after the car incident. And other people commented on this too, saying like the acting seemed really fake. And just like, I think that people want to believe it's real, so they have this like confirmation bias. Again, I don't have proof if it's fake or not, right? I'm just giving you my opinion based on what I see of him, and a lot of it feels very astroturfed, and I'm not just using that term. I mean, he literally came out of nowhere. If you look at the first stream with Nick, Clavicular, the comment section is like, Nick, why are you having him on? He's a freak show, da-da-da-da. Like, and then out of nowhere, like, Pearl's promoting him, all these people promoting him. And then, you know, there's this problem on Twitter. I don't know if he partakes. In my opinion, I think he does. Based on the captions, you know, his cortisol spiked, right? I think a lot of these people pay for ads that are undisclosed on Twitter, in my opinion, and I think that he's astroturfed in that sense, and he's in a cabal. And so Nick, who is part of this cabal, is queening out in the replies, being like, oh my gosh. Literally, that's his reply. He typed out, he didn't write OMG, he typed out, oh my gosh. Like, you can imagine Nick doing that with his little limp wrists. Him and Clavicular both kind of have limp wrists, to be honest. Like, if I'm just being objective about it. I've definitely seen it on more than one occasion watching these people for you guys. But yeah, he was queening out to Clavicular picking up women because he's like, wow, I'm Nick Fuentes. I'm totally not gay, but OMG, him picking up women, that was kind of, you know, that's how Nick is handling it. So in response, I said to Nick that he was queening out, which he was. Like, press 1 in chat if Nick was queening out to Clavicular. Press 1. Press 2 if you disagree. And before you press any number, may I sway your opinion a little? Okay, this is how he looks at him. And this is not the only screenshot of him doing this. Look at how he looks at Clavicular. Tell me he's not glazing him. Tell me he's not meat riding that. Well, you can't really meat ride something if it doesn't work, but that's beside the point. You know, dysfunction aside, yes, I've done my research. He has just been glazing him non-stop. And he addresses it too. He says, people keep saying it's homosexual to glaze Clavicular, but, okay, the word but should never come after that. It should never be like, yeah, it's like gay to pummel someone the behind, but, like, no, you can't follow that up with but, okay? And thank you, Will930 for being the stream sponsor. Thank you for the $10. The new wait, let me test the text.
This new homosexual dark web is even more embarrassing than the intellectual dark web.
The dark web? God, even the dark web is normie now, huh?
Nick is a queen.
Yes, thank you. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't think it's just because, like, yeah, everyone here wants to repeat what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it is fun to repeat what I'm saying. Because I say fun things. But that aside, I think it's pretty apparent. And it will be after I read this, too. Thank you, Isabella Live, for being a member for 2 months. Beautiful curls and eyes. Thank you. I've been fluffing them out for, like, 30 minutes like this. So if you see me doing that, that's why. I think I need, like, a shaggier haircut so it, like, has more volume. But anyway, hair aside, still not as homosexual as Nick Fuentes, but people keep saying it's homosexual to glaze Clav, but they're on first name basis. But those same people understate his significance. His emergence is absolutely game-changing as a phenomenon. When have you ever heard him talk about anybody else like this? I've never seen it, and I've been around a while. This is not a flash in the pan. This is psychologically affecting everybody. It has not only mainstreamed lookism and brought it to the fore of mainstream consciousness, but represents a new development in the discourse surrounding hypergamy and how men respond to it. Yeah, don't you love how these, like, red pill manosphere guys will, like, shit on feminists all day, but then, like, use their lingo, like, as if they're a fucking sociology major? And listen, I love to analyze things, right, and observe things and notice patterns and stuff, too. But when they keep using these buzzwords, it really makes me feel like they're closer than they think, you know? And it's ironic because they're the ones who always point at women and go, actually, all women are feminists. You're the feminist. You're the feminist. You're the feminist. You're the feminist. It's like pretty much calling someone a racist to try to disregard what they're saying. It's the same kind of tactic. And we've seen that in Pearl. We've been over that in the videos in the past. Everyone here already knows that. I don't have to really get into it. Thank you, Isabel Alive, for the 3
Happy
Canadian.
Valentine's Day, Britt.
Thank you. You know, Nick seems to be having a good Valentine's Day, too, with Clavicular. I think we know who he wanted to spend it with. But, I just wanted to go over this really quick before I get into the Brett stuff and show you the love in his eyes and the continuous, meat humping, let's call it. Because it's, you know.
Or did you see that? It's just like the greatest show in the world right now.
Did we all just witness that? Okay. I like very quickly watched this. I didn't even notice that when I first watched it. Did we just see that?
He met Brett Cooper. Did you see that? It's just like the greatest.
He is queening out. He is way more excited over Clavicular than Brett Cooper was. Let's be honest. Like, yes, I have my criticisms of how Brett handled it, and we'll get into that, but I think Nick is a little more excited of the two. Oh my gosh. Did you see Clavicular? He's like changing the game. He's such an influence. Oh my God. I can't.
Show in the world
He's
right now.
crushing it.
No meat riding, but the clav stream is just like it.
I like how he thinks of Clavicular, and the first thing his mind goes to is meat riding, by the way. Licking his lips and whatnot.
It's the best thing happening on the internet. It just is. Did you see him meet Brett Cooper?
Look at that beaming smile.
Dude, and Brett Cooper, dude, she wants him. It's crazy.
Look at him. He's like, listen, I am critical of the Brett Cooper stuff. I don't think it's because, like, oh, she smelled him, therefore she wanted him. But, and I understand what it's like when people, like, write fan fiction of you or whatever. It can be, like, really cringy or annoying. But low-key, Nick is kind of doing that here. He's kind of writing the fanfic and getting off to it. Like, look at his smile. Look at his little limp wrists. He's like, you know, he likes this little fan. He likes imagining Clavicular sexually, because that was the first thing his mind went to, was meat riding him. He's jealous.
She could barely contain herself. She was trying to jump out of her skin. I think she went there just to meet him. She's dissing him on the stream. Sneeko texted me. He's like, she said we have aura. I'm like, dude, she wants him. She's negging him. She's like glazing us to make him jealous. How do you not see through
Look, he thinks they're in a love triangle. Do you see this? This is crazy. I didn't think it would go this far, guys. Like, I always knew Nick was a little fruity, but it really is just getting worse and worse. Isn't it? Boy is in love? Yeah, I think so.
Uh-oh, here comes Moggy Jr.
Moggy Jr.? Fruity
Nick
Jr.
isn't beating the allegations on this one.
How much more evidence do you really need? At what point is it just my opinion versus fact? You know, where are we gonna draw the line for this, guys? We have a imaginary on Nick's part love triangle going on here. How I smiled to my husband.
She's negging him. She's like glazing us to make him jealous. How do you not see through this? It's
I'll
just
play the
like
clip he's talking about in a
bro.
second.
Sneeko texted me the clip because Brett Cooper said, Sneeko and Nick actually have aura. They're actually cool. Clav is lame. And Sneeko's like, she said we have aura. I'm like, Sneeko, how do you not see what she's doing? She's negging him. She's...
All right. So we get the point there. I wanna play the clip so you guys have some context here. Before people are like, what are you even talking about? Yeah, I don't know how you didn't see it, but... So this is the clip. And just so you guys know, I went back in the stream and I checked the timestamps. I did my research, all right? I did do my research. And she waited for him. You see how she's like on the side here? She waited for him. Look at her. She's like, is that him? And she's waiting on the side for him. And then she wants to be introduced to him. That's why she's kind of like standing there awkwardly. And even to the point where they're in the way. And you'll see that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Brett's gonna, if you want to say hi to Brett.
Brett, what's up? How are you? Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Good job.
You thought it was good?
The show's very good. Brett.
Okay.
Hi. It's hello. Oh my God.
So the viral point of the clip is right when
You
she
thought it
makes
was
him
good?
the face she makes, if you didn't catch it.
Brett.
Okay.
Hi.
How are you? Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
It's over
Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
here.
How are you? Amazing.
And everyone
Thanks for
screen
coming.
capped her like giving him the eyes. You could see
How
it
are
right
you?
there.
Amazing.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Good job.
So she introduces herself to him. She's like waiting on the side to
You
meet
thought it was
him.
good?
The show's very good.
And she says that she thought his show was good when he asks her.
You thought it was good?
The show's very good. Brett.
Show is very good. So we'll get back to that in a second. Why I'm pointing that out.
Okay.
Hi. It's hello. Oh my God, Liv! Hi.
I look different
Oh my
because of the
God.
makeup.
You look
I know, right?
incredible.
It's because of the
I'm
makeup.
sorry. He's contracted to take the photos.
No, I'm.
Oh yeah, someone in chat said this is probably scripted. I don't doubt it. Like I said at this point, I just like my first assumption really is that everything is fake that this guy does at this point because a lot of it does seem fake, in my opinion,
Liv, nice to meet
Yeah, he
you.
is.
Wait.
including
Okay,
Brett. But we'll get
this-
to that.
I look different because of the makeup.
You
You look
look
good.
Okay.
All right, so that's the clip. And people were screen capping her, smiling at him, and like, what are you doing? You're a married woman with children. You know, why are you looking at this guy like this? You know, after you just got done with your glamorous photo shoot in New York when your branding is supposed to be like more trad, taking care of your kids, whatever. And there's some dispute about that. You know, are you allowed to go take photos just fully covered, to be honest? Like, are you allowed to, but it was like glamorous, right? It's in New York. So it's like, are you allowed to go to New York with your husband, kid, and take photos, and also be trad? And a lot of people were debating that. But my point of contention is the context of this. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are not understanding about this. Now I'm going to play for you guys a clip that
Married, by
happened
the way.
before they met in real life. So this is like 1 or 2 days prior.
She's married, by the way. I'm pelvis smashing her. I don't give a fuck.
Miami, which really blew Clavicular up in a lot
Alright.
of ways.
Her husband is going to be chair maxing. All right, that's a new vernacular, bitch. Add that to the lexicon. Your husband chair maxing after I pelvis smash you. Okay, so shut the fuck up. I'm done with this bitch constantly talking about me, constantly trying to call it chase. I made your career. I made your entire career.
So she does admit that she talked about him a lot in her follow-up video about this, which we'll play in a minute. But basically he's talking about he's gonna pelvis smash her, and she's like, oh, hi Clavicular, it's nice to meet you. You did so good in the fashion show. After she spent weeks smack talking him, as he said on there, which is true, and she admits to that, right? And I'm not here to say if it was warranted or not. My point is that is really fake. Like, he's gonna say that about you. He's gonna pelvis smash you. He doesn't care if you're married, and then you're gonna walk up to him and shake his hand like this.
Brett?
Wait on the side for him.
Alright.
Like, what are you doing? And that's my criticism of her. It's like, why are you doing this? I know people are gonna be like, well, Brittany, What if she didn't see the clip? What if he said he was going to pelvis smash her and she somehow didn't see the clip? I don't know how you wouldn't see that, or like, look, I guess she's busy, she's flying to New York. But you're telling me nobody told her they have this ongoing feud? I don't buy it personally, but let's give the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, she didn't know that he was going to quote unquote pelvis smash her, you know? Then what is this about then? She
Now, the other
responds
thing I want
to a clip. The clip really isn't that relevant to play. It's Nick Fuentes, quote, crashing out on women and cringe millennials for ruining clavicular. So he's talking about clavicular, and she's quote tweeting it. Okay? And she's doing the me meme. Like, are you talking about me? So she seems to be proactively looking at this stuff, right? So I say it's not very likely that she didn't see that before shaking this man's hand and giving him a warm smile. And keep in mind, again, she is married. Why would she go and disrespect her husband like that? And, you know, I have spoken on, you know, Pearl, for example, being jealous about Brett. Now Pearl, because of this, by the way, thanks, Brett. Now Pearl's acting like she can do victory laps. There's nothing to victory lap about on her end. Like, she basically creates these no-winning scenarios, Pearl. She creates these no-winning scenarios of like, oh, well, you know, if Brett didn't show her man, then she's like hiding. If you show it, it's like clout chasing, and like the poor men, you don't value their privacy. But then if you post a picture with the ring without the man, it's, oh, why aren't you posting the man? You know, there's no winning with Pearl. And that's what I mean by that. And it shows with how she handled the debate too, where she was like posting 10 clips in a row between the debate with her and Anna Kasparian. And she was like acting like she won, while also duplicitous, very duplicitous, saying, guys, I took the L. And then she's like, but I could beat her up. And the security was the only thing stopping me. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what she said. She said that she was thinking about beating her up and the security was what was stopping her. I would have gotten to a fight. I'm Sasquatch Pearl. I'm my Sasquatch stance. I could beat her up. You know, because that's just a tell that you got intellectually beaten to the ground. We have to resort to that. But in any case, Pearl was gloating in her clips, like posting 10 of them in a row, acting like she won when she was silent, like half the time in the debate, because Anna Kasparian put her in her place. And Pearl, you know, bases her whole brand on, oh, well, you know, women this, men that, women suck, men good, blah, blah. And she couldn't defend any of it. She was silent. And it goes to show in her debates, Pearl's debates, like when she had that woman on, I think Lila Rose is her name, when she had to mute her. When she can't win, she has to mute someone else. And when she can't mute someone else, she mutes herself. So, I don't know why Pearl's sitting here in her Sasquatch stance doing victory rounds on her stream like this. I don't know why Pearl's doing that when she just creates unwinnable scenarios and makes no sense in what she says. Oh, if you don't show your husband your ring, actually, like, it shows you're using the man and like you're using it for clout, but if you do show the guy, then these women, they can't stop using men for clout. You know, the bitch never stops, okay? So I just wanted to address that about Pearl doing her victory laps. If she didn't have me blocked, I would be in the replies. But yeah, she couldn't even defend what she bases her entire career on versus Anna Kasparian. I wouldn't be talking if I were her. She also can't gracefully take an L while she's saying how Brett Cooper didn't. I watched the stream, and she was like, Brett Cooper's a whore, and she can't, like, she doesn't have, like, humility, and it's like, Pearl, you're not one to be talking about humility with how you handled that debate. How she handles any criticism, really. Again, I'm blocked, right? So I wanted to touch on that for a second. Not letting Pearl get away with the victory laps just because I'm criticizing Brett Cooper. So Anyway, after the pelvis smashing and Brett quote tweeting Nick Fuentes talking about clavicular during this time, after Brett Cooper meets clavicular and gives him a warm smile and waits outside for him, right? This is what he had to say. Hold on, let me pause the jazzy music for a second. I know we like our jazzy music, don't we, folks? Oh, really quick while this is loading.
Normal men really can't date in this heavily gay-coded world, huh?
It really is. And it gets worse. It gets worse. I have some stuff about the fashion show to show you after. If you think it's bad now, MacLeod. But thank you for the $5.
Got a candle and some soaps from my mom. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting a small business. You guys should go to Reidstreet Soap if you want some soaps and candles. I helped design them. Links in the description. But the ingredients are very good. And people really like it. I have not heard any complaints so far. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself, but very great. You can still get the free birthday gift if you guys want, by the way. It's a cupcake to celebrate my birthday. My belated birthday now. I didn't end up streaming for my birthday. Excuse me. Thank you, Tom Taggart, for the $19.99. Happy birthday. There's my birthday money. Thank you. Thank you so much for my birthday money. Even though, like, you know, my grandma sent me birthday money. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I'm still young enough to get birthday money. Which was sweet. Do parents normally still get you birthday gifts, by the way? I wouldn't know, right? I'm just curious.
I totally agree, but am I bad for finding collabs slightly entertaining? Also, favorite movie?
You can find people entertaining and not agree with them or be critical of them, I think. Some, like, just because you dislike someone, it's going to make what they're saying not funny. Not necessarily, right? Unless it ruins the joke, of course.
Do you think Nick is a top or a bottom?
Whatever clavicular wants him to be.
Seems so tame now compared to Nick.
Who does? Clavicular? Sorry for not catching that.
Nick's back is wet. And not because he's Mexican.
That's dirty. Thank you, Dan. And thank you, Brody Says, for the $2 as well. And Berna Pax for the $4.99. And then $4.99 from Peacock.
I hear people say how hot Brett Cooper is. I just see Ben Shapiro in a wig.
Everyone says that. She does. Honestly, like, I'm not saying this to be mean. Like, she just does look similar to him. Like, she could be his sister or something. Anyway.
I'm not gonna lie.
So this is after Brett Cooper warmly smiles at Clavicular, waits after the show for him, gets in people's way that are trying to, like, cross over to move out of the show. You know, you have models walking. You know, goes out of her way to greet him, and she admits that in the video too. This isn't my speculation. So this is what he says to her after. So before, he said, I'm gonna pelvis smash you. She greets him, waits outside for him, and then this is what he says afterwards.
I'm not gonna lie, Brett Cooper, bro. Brett Cooper, I know you came all the way to Fashion Week for me. You know what I'm saying? I wish we got to talk more, but now that we're both in the same city, DM me on Twitter, and you know, we can make you forget you were ever married. Let's be real. You'll forget about your fucking cuck loser husband, and maybe her and the Botox lady's husband could kick it or some shit, you know? I'm not gonna lie, Brett.
So, he completely insults her husband, calls him a cuck, says like DM him, just absolutely disrespecting her. He took her kindness, wiped his non-existent balls with it that are probably gone from abusing testosterone and whatever other cocktail of drugs he's taking these days. And now you might be wondering, surely Brett Cooper has something to say about that, considering what he just said about her husband, right? Well, I thought so too, which is why I was waiting for her statement. And spoiler alert, she does not really address it. She does not talk about how he disrespected her or her husband. She does not say at any point in the follow-up video that she didn't know that he said that he would pelvis smash her. Like, none of this. None of this is addressed. Basically, she addresses it, but basically doesn't address that part. And she just kind of like moves on from it like it's nothing. Like, this man just said that he was going to cuck your husband, that your husband's going to be chair maxed, okay? And your response is, oh, everyone's like so mad because I smiled at him. That's crazy. And I just don't understand. Like, I understand that she's a woman, right? I understand that she can't fight her husband's battles necessarily, but at what point do you at least draw a line in the sand? You know, just put the boundary there. It doesn't have to be an in-depth thing. It could be, really, it could be one sentence if you wanted it to be. Of like, yeah, I won't be working with him because of the way he disrespected my marriage. Something along those lines. Maybe that's not perfect, but you get the sentiment of what I'm saying here, right? And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you're Brett Cooper and you see everyone's reacting to you smiling at this man glowing, right? And regardless if she like found him attractive or not, it is a little bit strange behavior. Let's be honest. You're waiting outside the show for this man who said he's going to pelvis smash you, and your husband's not in your proximity. It's weird. Okay, so like, why are you going out of your way to be polite to him? What are you doing? And it's like, who is her husband anyway? Some dude. She posted him. He's in the video for a second. I'll show it in a second. But like, why would you want to collab after? Like, why would you want to collab? Like, because apparently her manager said that she wanted to collab with him or something. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I read. I don't have a way of confirming that right now, or where people are getting that from. But yeah, I don't get it. Like, you just are gonna let that slide? He said he's gonna have your husband chair maxing. That he's gonna be in the cuck chair. That's what that means. In case you didn't catch that. Hold on. I'm gonna play the Brett follow-up video in a second too.
Bravicular is Delina for the alt-right internet.
Is Delina for the alt-right internet? Who's Delina? Quick rundown.
Small recap for us late joiners.
The small recap is Brett Cooper smiles at Clavicular. Everyone freaks out about it, but they're not noticing the bigger picture of him saying he's going to pelvis smash her before meeting her, and she continues to go out of her way to greet him and smile, and then afterward he says he's and also he said he was gonna chair max her husband, and then he proceeds to double down on it, and she doesn't really address it. That's the TLDR. I hope that suffices.
Clav would be better off in the afterlife. I said what I said.
I wonder how Brett Cooper's husband feels about that. Do you think he thinks that? What's his take? What's Brett Cooper's husband thinking right now? Because if it were me, I would be mad at how it's being handled.
Has anyone brought up Clavicular being the pretty ones in the Mouse Utopia?
Pretty ones in Mouse Utopia? I don't know what that means. I'm not cultured enough. But yeah, what I'm saying, let me get to the point. Why is she, knowing at least like some of this, like she had to have known, in my opinion, and you go and greet him anyway, and then afterwards, so let's say she didn't know, okay, then like, why do you not address it? Why do you just like enable it? That's what I don't get. Instant divorce, honestly. And but what she does, let's go over this. What she does see, what Brett Cooper does see, is people retweeting her, glowing, smiling at this man, throwing all kinds of accusations that she wants him, she's thirsting after him, right? And it's debatable, right? There are some things where you could argue, like, and you could kind of see where they're coming from, where she's like, all of these things in a row, right? Especially now that it's said and done. I think they have more on their side. But it's like, you know they're saying that. You're Brett Cooper. You're being retweeted everywhere for wanting this guy, thirsting after him. Why is your response, knowing that people are already accusing you of that, to make this follow-up video that I'm about to show you? Let me pull it up. She's PR trained. It really didn't seem like it. It honestly did not seem like Brett Cooper watched back her own video. I was like, my jaw honestly dropped that she didn't have anybody stop her from posting this, or she just didn't watch it back and listen to what she says. Like, I don't understand how this ended up on YouTube, but let's watch it. Again, why would you respond like this after everyone's already accusing you? But
jump scare, everyone. I never really look like this. But anyway, hello from New York and New York Fashion Week. I am here in New York City this week. I'm going to EV Magazine's first ever live event that they are hosting, or I guess in-person event. I'm going to be on Fox a couple of times, and I am going to my very first ever New York Fashion Week fashion show, which is very crazy and very cool. I'm going to Elena Velez's show. That is what we're doing, so come along with me. You'll see some fun faces, including Alex.
yeah, that looks like a fun face for sure.
I'm going to Elena Velez's show. That is what we're doing, so come along with me. You'll see some fun faces, including...
Like I said on Twitter, you're probably wondering how I got here. See, she's not by doing this, she's not helping her case when people like Pearl will say like, oh, you're like humiliating your husband, whatever. Because like now this is memeable, and now it's funny to screen cap. After the incident with clavicular. Okay.
Alex, let's do it.
Often faces so much backlash in the mainstream industry, but the show itself and the attendees and the models are getting a lot of traction online, so I thought we should start out by discussing that. Because yes, you might have seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually closed the show. He was the last model to walk on the...
Girl, you know everybody is saying you want to fuck Clavicular. You're shaking his hand after he said he was going to pelvis max you. And then afterward talked about like, I forget if this is before or after, but he was talking about chair maxing your husband, and you're still gonna keep glowing when you mention his name? What are you doing?
I thought we were discussing that because yes, you might have...
Like, why did she do that? Like, let's discuss Clavicular. Yeah. What are you doing?
Seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually...
Why are you fangirling? What are you doing? She's not helping her case.
Closed the show. He was the last model to walk on the runway, and yes, I got to meet him. Cue the screeching online from angry men. You might have seen it if you've been on X. So sorry to have ruined your day, but yes, I did meet Clavicular.
I don't give a fuck.
Again, she looks a little too happy saying that. Like, guys, I'm not saying you should never smile at anyone ever when you say hi to them. Okay, yes, I'm biased. Yes, I'm from New York. Yes, I'm not going to make eye contact with people because last time I did that, a hobo tried to punch me in the face, getting on the train, a random hobo. But, you know, I understand other cultures are different. You know, in New York, we're very cultured. We have hobos that are ready to whack it to you on the subway any second, and among other things. So let's not get into that. So I understand people are from different places, and it allows them to maybe be a little more warm to a stranger or whatever. But this guy said he was going to chair max your husband and cuck him and pelvis max you. What do you mean? You're saying his name with a glow in your eyes.
Men, you might have seen it if you've been on X. So sorry to have ruined your day, but yes, I did meet Clavicular.
I don't give...
Like, why would you say it like that? Knowing how people are going to interpret that. For people to talk about it? Or is it just unknowingly? Is it that she's just not very self-aware? Like young and naive? What's going on here? Like, I'm not imagining this. And that's the thing. It feels very gaslighty because it's like, yeah, everyone's screeching and being incels. And I'm sure, like, there's a section of people where it is, like, they just want to, like, be incendiary or whatever, right? But I'm sorry, I'm not imagining it. Like, it's weird. It's weird. How you're handling this after the fact is even weirder. Like, I would have given benefit of the doubt, but then I see these clips, and I'm like, you definitely saw those clips, in my opinion. Maybe there's a chance you didn't. And then you proceed, how you handled it afterwards. Like, you're a little too excited mentioning Clavicular's name. Have some, like, you know, like, what's the word? Like, where you kind of, like, keep your energy inward a little bit. Like, why are you cheesing? Why are you cheesing talking about Clavicular after everyone just accused you of wanting to fuck this man while you're on this glamorous New York City trip with your husband and child? You know, like, be a little composed, like, cool max a little bit, right?
Did meet Clavicular.
I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Now, the whole thing was just crazy to experience, but honestly, in my opinion, I think it was really smart of Elena because she brought Clavicular in. He's obviously having this huge moment online. She basically let him stream everything, from the fitting to hair and makeup to actually walking on the show. Like, we were sitting front row watching, and, like, his camera guys were walking, like, with him and filming the crowds. Like, they were completely...
Why does she have stars in her eyes talking about him still? I don't. Like I said, I get she's more of a warm person naturally than I am, okay? And maybe I'll get called a bitch for not immediately glowing and smiling at every person as soon as I meet them. But yeah, have some poise. You know? Like, be a little mindful. You're a married woman. Be a little mindful. I'm sorry, not everyone's going to agree with me here. I know for a fact everyone's going to chalk this up to be like, oh, you're saying women can't smile. You're saying women can't greet men warmly. And then if women don't do that, they get called a bitch, whatever. Yeah, there's consequences to not being friendly and nice to every guy and inviting him in. But also, like, it's called survival. And you shouldn't necessarily do that. It's not necessarily safe to do that, to invite every person in, especially when they're talking about pelvis maxing you and chair maxing your husband. All right? So have a little bit of, like, little poise about you. Like, be a little mindful of your eye contact. Like, is it really so bad if you, like, try to not look too long into the opposite gender's eyes? To me, that's respectful. Like, is it wrong? Is it prudish for me to have a little bit of respect for a significant other? To not, like, because at what point do you draw the line, guys? If you're saying no, it's fine, at what point do you draw the line? So you should, like, eye fuck someone across the room when you're with someone else too? Like, how long? Like, you should stare at them? You should just, like, eye fuck them? Like, you know, look them up and down and be like, yeah. Like, I don't understand how people are okay with that. I'm not. I don't like it, and I wouldn't want it done to me. I think you should be mindful of your eye contact with the opposite gender, actually. And that's going to upset a lot of people, but that's how I feel. I think that's what's mutually respectful. I think that's something you naturally do if you respect someone. Like, you're mindful of how much eye contact you're giving. You don't just cheese out and have stars in your eyes talking about Clavicular walked down the runway. Clavicular, he had all the cameras on him after everyone just accused you of wanting to fuck this man. What are you doing?
Involved. And so all of this exposed Clavicular's fans, the tens of thousands of people watching him on Kick, the people clipping his videos on X, they exposed them to Elena and to Fashion Week in general. Just opened them up to a whole new world. And I will say, this is not the first time that a streamer has walked in a fashion show, but she really gave him free reign and gave him free access.
Like, why is she gloating about him? She just spent how many minutes in this video? How long are we? She spent like a minute and a half, so the whole beginning part, the part that most of her audience is going to see before clicking off, right? And she's just using it to gloat about Clavicular. It sounds like she's bragging about him. Why would you do that? Why are you bragging about another man? Why are you like gloating for him about how he was like so glamorous walking down the runway and all the cameras were on him and he was sparkling in the sunlight like Edward Cullen? I'm not saying she has to stare at her shoes, but I am saying I think it was disrespectful that she's waiting after the show to meet him. And it's not just in a vacuum. That's already like a little distasteful in my opinion. When you're a married woman or with someone else. But additionally, like the context of like him saying what he said before and saying what he said, doubling down about how he wanted to smash her and cuck her husband afterwards. And then she continues to gloat about him.
Was very, very cool to see. Now, in addition to Clavicular, she also had my friend Liv Schmidt walk in the show. She is the girl, I talked about her on comment section a couple of years ago, but she was literally kicked off of TikTok. She was banned on TikTok because she has this thing called Skinny Society, and she's like a fitness and health influencer, and she was telling girls how to portion control and calorie.
Now, do we notice anything? I want everyone in chat to, before I say anything, I want to know if am I just nitpicking, or do you notice it too? Okay, we've been playing this video for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. She's only talked about her friend for about 30 seconds of the video so far. So in the last 30 seconds, like, when she was talking about her friend, did you guys notice anything? This is Brett Cooper. While you guys answer that, I'm going to play a donation.
Great stream so far, Venti. I hope that you had a good birthday.
Thank you. I did have a good birthday, but I got hungover for like 2 days afterward. I went to this really nice Japanese place, and like that sake progressively got worse. And I ordered it thinking they would just give me a cup, but they gave me the entire bottle. And I was like, well, I guess I'm committing to this. And yeah, it just got worse and worse as the night progressed. But it was a good time. I had a good birthday and then rested afterwards. All right, so let's go back to the chat. So in the past 30 seconds when she's talking about her friend, this is what you guys are saying you noticed. Her eyes changed. Yes, exactly. Her eyes changed. Smile left. Yes, she's less excited. Why is she less... I'm not saying she looked miserable talking about her friend, but like, let's look at her body language.
And gave him free access, which was very, very cool to see. Now, in addition to Clavicular, she also had my friend Liv Schmidt walk in the show.
Versus how she talks about Clavicular.
But honestly, in my opinion, I think it was really smart of Elena because she brought Clavicular.
Like
I'd have seen Clavicular walked in the show. He actually closed the show. He was the last model to walk.
Right, we got a good piece there, right?
Communities, yes, she was literally banned off of TikTok. She was dropped by her modeling agency, so it was like a cool full circle moment.
So she's still happy, right? I'm gonna demonstrate for you guys so you understand what I mean, because maybe it's too subtle and some people won't catch on to this. But when she's talking about Clavicular, this is how she talks about him. This is the face she makes. Okay, that's her when she's talking about Clavicular. She's like, he walked down the runway and he was just sparkling. Everything was just so amazing. Okay, this is how she talks about her friend. Yeah, my friend Elena, she was like canceled and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like her eyes are more squinty. They're like happy eyes, right? But they're more squinty when she's talking about her friend, and it's like a softer smile. Versus Clavicular, she's like literally any frame I pick, she's just like, you know, like cheesing. No, I'm sorry. I understand, like, there could be a chance, like, a detail or here or there. Maybe it could be seen as nitpicky, but, like, I'm not imagining all of this. guys, is she into me? So, like, again, I don't know for a fact if she's into Clavicular, but how she's acting is unacceptable. I will say that. I will criticize how she's acting. I can't know her intent for sure, but I do know how she's acting is strange and not appropriate, and it would be completely embarrassing if a significant other did this with me, where she continues to do it, because I understand she's a warm personality, but she's not mindful, and she proceeds to continue doing it after knowing her husband's being called a cuck. It's disrespectful. Okay. Where were we? I think we were like over here. She's talking about her friend.
by her modeling agency. So it was like a cool full circle moment. She got to walk in her first Fashion Week show. She was like covered in Vogue by being in Elena's show. Elena also had some like controversial musicians walking. I think that she also had a detransitioner in the show. I didn't catch that individual's name, but I was at the show with Brittany Hugo Boom, who is the founder and editor-in-chief of Evie Magazine. They also just did a profile on me being at the show, but Brittany apparently knew who this was and pointed her out. But needless to say, amidst all of that interesting cast of characters, Clavicular was very much the most viral moment of the night. And so
how is it that she somehow turns even talking about her friend and, you know, her friend's achievements despite being canceled, blah, 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 and somehow she turns that into like, oh yeah, and Clavicular stole the night. What are you doing? Like, I keep saying that, but it really is just like jaw-dropping that I'm watching this video, right? Okay, that's too big. Thank you, Andrew Thomas, for being stream sponsor, though. I feel like I'm the only person. I know you guys are gonna see it too, probably, because like, a lot of my viewers align with me. But when I was watching this video, I felt like almost nobody else was noticing this or pointing it out. Like they were on the like, oh, you still smiled at him stuff, whatever, but weren't looking at the layer deeper. And I'll give you guys an example. Okay? Look at her comments. Or at least when I saw it, they were like siding with her. Brett being nice to people she disagrees with, it's almost as if she's practicing what she preached. And we're going to get into that too. We got into it a little bit. We're going to get into it more in a second. I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place. LOL. You know, they're just like, oh, haha, so funny. Like, they're not saying anything about it. Like, they're just letting her continue to do this, not correcting her. So, yeah, I feel like I'm the only one noticing that. I feel like this is what's happening. So, she's just saying whatever, right? And she's just getting away with it because she's like, la la, bubbly, smiley, and I say whatever, and her fans are like, yeah, ha ha ha. And they're not actually listening to what her words mean, like what she's saying. That's how I feel watching this. And she somehow, again, turns it into Clavicular again, even when talking about her friend's achievements.
He was there, and because I was in attendance, there is now all of this discourse on X, I would say, about me being there and watching while he walked and meeting him, and God forbid, this is the worst, God forbid, I'm so sorry that I did this, but I smiled at him. Oh my God, cue the meltdowns, guys. They are freaking out over on X. And what I need to say to that is, oh my God, people go touch grass. Like, seriously, kick rocks, touch grass, log.
So the response to noticing it is go touch grass. Like, I think she's the one who needs to come down to earth. I think Brett Cooper needs to touch some grass for saying everyone else is the crazy one, right? Like, some of them might be crazy, but my reasoning, I think, makes sense when I'm seeing the context of it, of how he talked about her and her husband and wanted to cuck her husband before and after the meeting. So I'm gonna touch grass. I'm the crazy one for this. I don't think so. Actually. Is this like the new default statement is like, oh, well, like, touch grass with anyone you disagree with? I think this is like the new go-to or something. Because in some contexts, does it make sense to say that? Yeah, of course. If someone's like absolutely insane, delusional, whatever. But I don't think it's insane to find how Brett's acting distasteful. I think what she did on multiple instances, it wasn't just a one-off. She didn't correct herself. It's distasteful. And it's disrespectful to her husband. Yeah, I always get the weirdest frames when I pause. I don't know. And she's like, oh, I just smiled at him. It's like, no, you didn't just smile at him. You smiled at him after he said he was going to chair max your husband. You smiled at him after he said that he was going to make you forget about your husband. What's there to smile about? Okay, watch next section.
Go speak to a woman in real life. Go outside and stare at the sunshine. Like, I cannot believe that this is something that is being debated and argued about. Now, first of all, for those individuals, if you want the full story...
Also, it's not just like, oh, they just randomly spoke. she waited after the show to meet him. Like, she asked to basically be introduced. It seemed like that. The third party was like, Clavicular, Brett's here if you want to meet her. Why are you waiting after the show to meet him to be nice?
I did not even know that Clavicular was going to be walking in the show when I was first invited and agreed to go. I actually didn't think that he was going to make it after all, because he was literally just in jail in Arizona. But yes, he ended up walking, and obviously I was going to take the opportunity to meet him. After making content about him and after...
So that's a little bit disjointed too, and other people pointed this out before I had noticed, actually, that she says, oh, I didn't know if he was going to make it since Arizona. I didn't know he was going to go. It seems a little bit disconnected, but maybe you could give her the benefit of the doubt of like, oh, she just said it wrong. Like, wrong words were used to say that she both didn't know he would be there, but also didn't know if he would be there because he just got arrested. So it's like you kind of did know prior, but you just thought he wouldn't be there because he got arrested, maybe. So a little disconnected there, but we'll give a little bit benefit of doubt, right?
And obviously, I was going to take the opportunity to meet him. After making content about him and after weeks of mocking him and saying that I thought he was just like a shell of a person who had no values, like, I thought the respectful, the good thing to do would obviously be to go say hi in person and meet him and not be an actual asshole in real life, because I am not an asshole. But unfortunately, because every part of his life is streamed, to people online, smiling and being nice means that you are a hoe who hates her husband and hates her family. So that's the discourse.
No, it means that it's distasteful and disrespectful to your husband and family when you continue to be nice and warmly smile at the person who's disrespecting your family and did it before and after the interaction. And what's this logic she's using where it's like, oh, actually, I have to be nice. No, you don't. No, you don't. Actually, you should you should talk about, like, there's so many things you could pick on with him. Like, I guess you can't be too inappropriate if you're like a married woman and you're like in his face or whatever. You can't like necessarily go for like the ED or whatever. But like you could be like, oh, I don't want to mess up your mascara, bye. You know, you can make a little bit of a snarky comment. You don't have to be nice. What is this like, I have to be nice to him after shit talking him on the internet stuff? Like, so you're a coward? So you're fake? You're pearl maxing? That's what Pearl did. She was big and bad online, Sasquatch mode online. I'm gonna beat up Anna Kasparian. I could have beat her up if security wasn't there. But in the debate, making quiet like a little mouse. Oh, Pearl, do you have anything to say? Nope. You know, she's just sitting there like with her mumbling soft little baas like a little lamb, right? Little docile lamb. But then when she gets back on stream, then she's big and bad again. Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat her up. I'm gonna beat Anna Kasparian up. Like, you're a sore loser, right? You're fake. You're pretending. So in that case, with Brett Cooper, I'm getting the vibe of like pearl maxing, where it's like, yeah, I talk all this shit online, but actually, I didn't want to be an asshole in real life. I didn't want to like commit to the bit. Like, no, if you're going to be a bitch, commit to the bit. That's how I feel. You're a fake bitch for this. You are. You have to be a real bitch. Follow through with it, Brett. Tell him his mascara's running. He just said he was gonna fuck you and then cuck your husband in front of the entire world. This is not a small person. He he can't lift very much, but like he has like 13,000 live viewers and he's like blowing up everywhere, artificially or not. He's everywhere, right? Do something, or at least ignore him. Why are you waiting after the show to meet him to Pearl Max and act fake and be like, yeah, well, I saw all this stuff online, but now that we're in person, I'm actually going to be nice. Pearl does that. Chrissy was talking about how Pearl does that. In real life, she's like a different person. It's like, okay, it'd be one thing. I'm going to give a disclaimer. It'd be one thing if you're for the bit, right? It'd be funny if it's like, you know, two people really have beef and then you just like, to make them see you're like extra nice to them for no reason. That's funny. That's funny. But unfortunately, that's not what she did. And we know that because she said that just now. She said, I just didn't want to be an asshole. I just wanted to be a people pleaser and actually like give Clavicular a warm smile, to be a people pleaser. Show I'm not an asshole in real life, even though I talk shit about him, called him a husk of a human being. That's called being fake. That's called being a coward. That's called pearl maxing. What do you mean you're going to only do it online and then wimp out in person? because you wanted to seem nice. You wanted to be a nice girl. Oh, the nice girl. I can't with like enablers and nice girls, nice guys. I can't. Like I said, it'd be funny if it were a bit and they had like a feud and then she was just like extra nice to him to troll him. I've done that before. It's funny, okay? It makes them really unnerved, okay? But she didn't do that. She admitted it was to be nice, to not be mean, to not seem like an asshole. All right? So that's how it's different. Killing them with kindness is one thing, but he just completely crossed the line and disrespected her entire family. And she's pearl maxing. Unbelievable.
Online. Again, people online smiling and being nice means that you are a hoe who hates her husband and hates her family. So that's the discourse online. Again, I will say, go touch grass.
I don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Like, are you people crazy? We do not live.
Maybe she's the one that needs to touch grass, considering that she can't hold up her own. She has a spine made of a noodle, like Pearl. Her spine's made of a wet noodle. With any pressure, it just bends forward toward him in his face, like, right? Maybe you need to touch grass because you're over here online, you know, criticizing him, criticizing whoever. And she mentions later in the video that this has happened to her before. And yet in real life, you can't hold your own, just like Pearl. So who really needs to touch grass here?
In Saudi Arabia, sometimes two women go out without their husbands, and sometimes women, oh my God, interact with the male species. Again, touch grass, log off. It will be better for you.
Okay, but why would you want to? Okay, I think there are some scenarios where you would want to, like maybe you want to go like shopping for clothes, right? And you don't want to like drag your man around because they don't really like that, right? That'd be understandable. But like if I'm at a fashion show and I'm married with a child, I would want them to be there. I kind of want them to be right by my side, especially around other men and men that are like talking about pelvis smashing me. Like, well, I don't know. Was it optional? Like, because they both came along the trip, the newborn and the husband, but they weren't in her proximity when she met Clavicular. So my question is like, yeah, you can, but if you can opt for your husband to be there, why wouldn't you?
Live in Saudi Arabia. Sometimes two women go out without their husbands, and sometimes women, oh my God, interact with the male species. Again, touch grass, log off. It will be better for you. I guarantee it. Anyway, moving on from that whole.
Yeah, and she just moves on from it. So, yeah, I think she should be mindful of how much attention and gloating she's giving Clavicular. She wants to talk about coming back down to reality. I think that's what she needs to do. I think she needs to draw the fucking line. I think she needs to grow a spine and draw the line. That's what I think she needs to do. Because it's not happening in this video. I watched it twice. It's not happening in this video. Here, let me fast forward to the part where she talked about like she's running into other people and this has happened before. Again, I'm just shocked that like I'm the only one like I know you guys agree with me for the most part, like because you guys are sensible, but it felt like when I was online nobody else was seeing this. Like a couple of people like here and there, and that was it. Thank you, BM,
Happy
for the
birthday,
money.
Brittany. I always enjoy your streams. It hasn't even been a day after Valentine's and we have so much tea. Sad.
I know.
I hope everyone can find true love and learn to keep it. I raise a shot in your honor. Cheers. Fuck the enablers.
Cheers. And it was a pretty bad Valentine's Day for everyone, wasn't it? Because like all the breakups happening, this event, it was not looking like a good Valentine's Day on Twitter, huh?
She took the time to collect her feelings and wrote this out like a Philip DeFranco script.
If this was scripted, I'm gonna be double more critical. Here's the thing, Towns. I was assuming that she just maybe like she just maybe like is so like bubbly and not self-aware. Like she was bimbo maxing and she was just like so not aware that she was just saying whatever. But if this is scripted, I'm gonna be double critical. It's that much worse that you thought this through and you thought this was good. Like, was this scripted? I hope not. I hope this was a fucky wucky.
I just stumbled into this. First thought, clavicular, poser scumbag, verbally harasses her, a married woman, and she proceeds to meet him then gush over him? Not warmth, she is being ignorant.
Yeah, and when I say warmth, I mean that not everyone deserves it. Certainly not people that disrespect your marriage don't deserve it. And she wasn't trolling, so she admitted that she wasn't. So it really is ignorant at best, right?
I think Daily Wire Brett Cooper seemed better than Indie Brett. I'd what happened between them, but Daily Wire was the best thing for her.
Honestly, I didn't watch much of her show. I saw like one clip. I think she like mentioned me once or something. Thank you.
Calling it. Clav crack baby within a year.
Oh, yeah, and that was the other thing. Thank you for reminding me, MacLeod. That was the other thing I had to say about this, actually. I'm going to play the video again in a second. But the other thing I had to say about this was just like a day ago or something. Like literally this week she's talking about my brother is schizophrenic because he smoked marijuana. And marijuana is bad. And I can't believe people smoke it, blah, blah, blah. I'm against marijuana now. I'm Brett Cooper, right? And you're going to go wait after the fashion show to meet this disrespectful, like, meth head? This guy's on a cocktail of different drugs. Like, I watched in a Matan interview, he said he couldn't get through a day of doing laundry without doing a fucking drug. And you're waiting to meet him after the show. After he said that he wanted to pelvis thrust you and chair max your husband. Whichever happened before and after. He doubled down and did it before and after. Talking about wanting to fuck her and disrespecting her. So, like, how can you say, like, oh, I'm against marijuana, my brother is suffering from it, but you're, like, gloating about this guy who's meth maxing? What the fuck? It doesn't make sense. And I have to say, like, when I see this many things that are disconnected, when I see this many things that don't make sense, like she's speaking in a very duplicitous way. What she's saying does not logically follow through. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't look good. I have to just assume that there's something dishonest going on. When you see someone constantly doing that there's that cognitive dissonance or like a disconnect or it like feels a little gaslighty, you have to assume at a point when they keep doing it that they're being dishonest somewhere. Because it's not coherent. It's not, I forget the word, but it's not like, starts with a C. I can't remember the word, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not following through. It's not matching her actions. Her words are not matching her actions. There's a disconnect. So, again, from every angle, this just does not look good. It does not look good for Brett's husband.
To call this a stretch is beyond understatement. Are we really this bored that we gotta make stuff up for drama? What about TikTok or Emu stuff, lol?
Just close your eyes. If you close your eyes, it's not happening. Well, you can disagree with me, but I'm giving my opinion. I'm seeing the body language. I'm seeing the context of it. And I'm seeing her not drawing the line or setting a boundary with clavicular. I'm not really seeing it. When she should be doing this. She doesn't have to fight her husband's battles, but she should be respectful. She should be mindful with how she's acting, how she's gloating about him after the fact. And she should be mindful of like how she's handling this and how she's framing it. And she's not. She's failing. Miserably, embarrassingly.
I'm a lib and I'd pay you to tell me what you really think about guys like me. Embarrassed smiley face emoji, fire emoji, you're the best at talking shit, heart suit emoji, romantic
what is this,
face
a
emoji.
2015 don't spam me emojis. A 2015 forum, we're doing like a rate the person above you. Come on. JR, is Brett Cooper worse than Riley right now? It's not. I would say like not as bad so far. I'll come back to that though. I'll have to think about it.
Brett became another gay-coded queen.
You think that's what it is? She thinks that he's gay, so she's like queening out to him, versus like Nick Fuentes is doing it for the same reason but like different intent. Do you think that's what it is? It's a joke. Well, partially. Let's see.
She literally sounds like a Justin Bieber fangirl from like 2014 talking about Clav.
Yeah, Zenon, that's the impression I get too. Thank you for the £4.99. But no, just close your eyes. Close your eyes and close your ears.
The one frame of her husband is him angrily sitting in a hotel chair. Lol.
I know. Doesn't it make it worse that he's like clavicular saying, I'm gonna chair max your husband, Brett, and then he's like actually like in the corner in the chair? Like, she set herself up for that.
This the hotel room that Clav shows up in?
See, this wouldn't be, if she like set the boundary, this wouldn't be happening. Or it'd be happening a lot less. It would be like more defendable. I wouldn't be having this stream right now about it.
Do you think that he will ruin himself with plastic surgery at a young age?
Lauren Friend, thank you. I think he already did with a lot of, he kind of, if we're talking about clavicular, he has a very uncanny valley look to him. You know, you just, women especially, I think men maybe don't register it, but when women look at him, they've registered. They're like, he's a little fucked up, isn't he? Like, what is wrong with him?
TBH Brittany, no one not even Brett Cooper cares about her husband.
Doesn't care enough, or it's just like ignorant at best. Thank you for the $1.99. Ellie brought, I think it's $2 for it to do TTS.
I gave you a heart for Valentine's Day on Crispy's chat on Kick.
A Valentine's Day, a heart for Valentine. What does that mean? Is that like a currency? On Kick, is it like a stick? It's like YouTube where it's like a sticker? You don't have to give me stuff for Valentine's Day. It's not even Valentine's Day anymore. Why give it to me for Valentine's Day? Are you asking to be in the cuck chair?
I remember when Brett was the only big influencer who gave you credit for the breaking the Balenciaga story on TikTok. Respected her for that.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot what it was that she mentioned me. Yeah, and that was nice of her, but that's not gonna be like, oh, you know what, therefore, I'm gonna say that this is fine. Like, I think it's entertaining to comment on, and I think that it's a good example of how not setting boundaries gets you in this situation, and how she handled it, and being a people pleaser, and where that gets you, because now she humiliated her husband, and now everyone's going to keep making cuck jokes about him, and they're never going to let it go. I know people on the internet say anything, but why would you give them ammo? And she gave a lot of ammo with this video. So I think it's a good case study, and I think it's worth mentioning, especially when not a lot of people are considering the bigger picture of this and are just looking at her smiling at him in a vacuum. Anyway, where were we here?
Reminded me why I should basically never leave the house, because I'm watching him take photos with like people were swarming him. All of these girls were taking photos with him. He was like throwing his jacket over his shoulder and saying, "Let's mog, baby," and like he was smizing in every photo. Anyway, after saying
What?
Yes, he was like kicked out of Congress, he went to jail, he was pardoned, that's his whole story, kind of a crazy individual. He has this like massive fan base now. Like people were swarming him. All of these girls were taking photos with him. He was like throwing his jacket over his shoulder and saying, let's mog, baby. And like he was smizing in every photo. Anyway, after standing and watching him take photos with like millions of fans, I finally got up the courage. We took a photo together. He is very sweet. He's very funny. But it just reminded me why I should basically never leave the house, because I'm always running into people that I talk about on the show. Like sometimes not in a positive light. And I'm like, oh my God, sorry, but I promise I'm nice and I actually like don't hate you at all. I did it twice in one night with Clavicular and George Santos, because I remember ripping into him on comment section when he was still in Congress. Anyway.
So again, here we go again with the people pleasing. It's like, oh, I have to let them know that I'm actually not a mean person. I'm actually a good person, even though I should talk them on my show. It's okay. It doesn't count. It's not in real life. I'm a good person. Please like me. Please like me. You can say you'll pelvis smash me. Please like me. It's disgusting. And I'm supposed to not talk about this? I'm supposed to not notice? No, this is good learning material. No, you can't dislike me because you can't hold me accountable for criticizing you on my show. You can't hold me accountable. You have to like me. No, Clavicular, please, you were glittering in the spotlight. You have to like me. You have to trust me. I'm not like this in real life. Really? This is what I'm saying. I cannot believe she made this video and thought that this sounded good, that, oh, people will understand that I'm actually a nice girl, and it's just all, I'm just doing it to do it online. It's like, it's not like it's a character for her. She's not doing a satirical bit, guys. Like, this is her. She's Brett Cooper. She does the Brett Cooper show, and she gives her actual opinions and commentary, right? She's not a satirical person. She's not a stand-up comedian. She's not, this is her giving her takes. This is her show that she named after herself. So you can't go and be like, no, don't hold me accountable for my opinions online. Please don't hold me accountable. Please think I'm nice. Please take a photo with me. I'm really not that mean in real life. I didn't mean it. Like, it's not respectable. I don't respect it. This video has made me respect her work less, because it goes to show she does not believe in what she says. She's not convicted. She's not committed to it. If you're going to be a bitch, follow through, commit to the bit. Be a real bitch. Don't be a fake bitch. It's not respectable. And it's very off-putting, and it hurts your brand. Why do it? Because you have to be a people pleaser? So just remember this next time you feel like you have to be nice to one, or you have to people please, especially for a bunch of strangers on the internet that, you know, that they're strangers on the internet and need to touch grass. Like, where was that in your head when you were people pleasing? Where was that in your head when you went and you stayed after the show to meet Clavicular, getting in people's way just to meet him, and giving him the warm smiles, shaking his hand, telling him he did so good on the show, praising him, gloating about him after in the video? All of that? Is it worth embarrassing your husband? I have to wonder. Is it really worth damaging your brand that you're trying so hard to protect, clearly, by being a people pleaser? And it's like, it's contradicting. Now I don't take Brett seriously. I don't believe that she believes in what she says. She's basically said that here, that she just says it for the show. And again, she's not like a satirist. She's not a stand-up comedian. She is someone who gives her takes online. So why would anyone want to respect her work or believe what she says after hearing her say this stuff and saying, oh, like, in real life, I'm different, actually. Yeah, in real life, because in real life, you're fake? Okay. I guess I'll subscribe then. What do you mean? Do you listen to the words you say? Her and Pearl have more in common than I thought, honestly. It's very disappointing.
Needless to say, all that aside, they were both very nice and water under the bridge. The whole show, the whole...
Water under the bridge? Because you met in real life, it's water under the bridge? I understand being cordial. I'm not saying she shouldn't be cordial. I think she, in my opinion, I think she should have made a snide remark about his mascara, like I said earlier. But I understand if you want to be neutral. Like you don't want to cause a scene and you're at like an event and stuff like that. I get that. I get not wanting to cause a scene. You can be neutral in that way, but certainly not waiting to meet him after the show. Certainly not that. Like, you see him right there. You didn't walk away. So, I don't understand how that's suddenly water under the bridge. Oh, if you meet in real life, it's just automatically because you smile at them, it's water under the bridge. Like, no. I think this is, unfortunately, where I'm going to have to, like, bring out the Pearl talking point here, where it does feel like there's a lack of accountability, and it does feel like it's because she's a woman. And what I mean by that is that she is, she's giving the impression of, like, oh, I can just get out of this if I smile. Like, she's done it before. You know what I mean? Like, she's done it before. This is not her first time to pull this move. And she's saying she did it multiple times one night, right? She's comfortable doing it. Like, what is even your brand at this point? Like, you just say whatever online, and then you drop it in real life when you're pressed on it? You pull a pick me Pearl? You want to be picked? Is that what's going on here? No backbone. I'm just a nice girl, guys. Like, for reference, by the way, just so you have the approximate time, on the stream, he walked the show. He was the last person to walk, and she waited approximately 15 minutes afterwards to meet him, because there's a 15-minute gap between when he walks and when he meets her. It's approximately 15 minutes. So she waited around for him. No, please, I'll wait around for you while my husband is somewhere in the hotel, whatever. Please like me, Clavicular. I'm actually not as mean as I am online. Please collab with me. It's like, it's so unrespectable. Like, I actually went and checked because I needed to see how long she waited. Like, imagine your husband is getting disrespected by this guy. This guy who's staring at their tits. I'm pretty sure it's a transgender. Isn't this like Pariah the doll or whatever? Isn't he staring at a transgender person's boobs? Can I get some verification here? Like, you're gonna let the guy who's like doing this make your husband look bad? For real? Thank you for the $20, Eli. I appreciate it. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, whenever you donate, why it's not at the top, stream sponsor, that one is through my website, which is pinned at the top. That's why.
If Fuentes blocked you, it probably hit home. Reminds me of when Joel Osteen and his wife blocked me. Who do you think won the Rich Cooper/Andrew Wilson debate?
I haven't had the displeasure of watching that yet. But yeah, I think it's so funny that was the thing that made Nick the most angry. Because I've replied to his other stuff before and he didn't block me. But he did block me for literally just saying, you're queening out over Clavicular. You are queening out. That got him. His name's Miles. Yeah, it's Miles Yardley. Why is Clavicular staring at Miles's tits? And you're letting him chairmax your husband? You're letting the guy with plastic muscles embarrass your husband online? You're shaking his hand like...
I'll tell you that. Free G line.
He can't bench... He can only rep 135 pounds. And apparently half the male population can do that. And he's been on... various drugs, like doing testosterone, all this stuff, to the point where it affected his fertility. Is that the word for men? Like he's infertile, allegedly. He claims to be infertile. He said he fucked himself up from 14, taking drugs to enhance himself, right? And he can't even out rep like half the population? Like, what's going on here? Like, was he pretending for clout? Was he faking it? Maybe. I don't know. He probably fakes a lot of stuff. A lot of this stuff seems fake. But let's assume it's real because he's putting it out there. You're gonna let this guy embarrass your husband? You're gonna let this guy say he's chairmaxing your husband, Brett? You're gonna shake his hand? The guy who's on a cocktail of drugs after you just said marijuana gave your brother schizophrenia? You're gonna let this guy who wears mascara, meaning he gets into a fight with your husband and he cries, his mascara is gonna be running. Okay? Imagine getting into a fight and your fucking mascara is running as a man. And you're gonna let him talk about pelvic maxing on you or whatever. I don't get it. Like, this guy supposedly has erectile dysfunction, and he's talking about pelvis smashing you. I don't know. I don't know about that. But hey, as long as she's a nice girl, right? As long as she just smiles and gets away with it, right? Thank you for the $2 Australian, Beatard. My favorite quadroom were so back. Junior Toxicity, thank you for the $5.
I remember when Brett shit on Chrissy Mayer for her criticism of Whitney Cummings, and then CM went to Brett's NYC show and met her there.
Yes, and guess what? And Pearl pulled a... I don't even know what to say. If Pearl... I mean, we're going to call it Pearl maxing, right? So... just like how Brett did, though, it's like, oh, in real life, I'll be nice. It's like, and it's not a bit. Pearl did the same thing. And why is it not a bit with Pearl? Well, it's not a bit with Pearl because we saw her coward behavior in real time. We watched her seethe after the Anna Kasparian debate where she had her entire career just, like, invalidated because she couldn't defend any of her positions. Silent. Half the debate with Anna Kasparian. So we know it's not a bit. We know it's not like a ha-ha thing. Like, she just does it because she's a coward. And you want to know what's so funny about Pearl, too? We already know she has a pattern of behavior, right? We know Pearl has a pattern of behavior of, like, mimicking the women she hates. Like, for example, even with this Brett Cooper thing, Pearl's over here complaining about Brett Cooper's dress, right? I have no words, you know, so dramatic. Like, I have no words that she's wearing a boat neck, boat neck dress and a mock neck dress. I have no words, right? This is Pearl saying this. Mind you, Pearl wore a dress with less coverage. And before you say, well, you know, Pearl's not married, children. Okay, but Pearl put down other women for wearing more clothes than this many, many times that we've gone over. Many, many times. Her entire feed was filled with it. But as soon as she loses weight, guys, look at my ass, look at my side tit. And she's talking about, I have no words for Brett Cooper. Pearl just says whatever. She talks out of her ass. So like I said, I wouldn't be doing victory laps if I were her. But yeah, as you see, Pearl has a history of imitating the women she criticizes. And I do find skinwalking to be a pattern of behavior in locales. But it's crazy to the extent she will go. Not only does she wear a less appropriate black dress, right? According to her own logic, her criticizing women, her criticizing Brett saying, I have no words, right? And then with Chrissy Mayer, as we said earlier, she was like wailing on Simpcast. You guys remember that? Criticizing Chrissy Mayer. And now suddenly, Pearl wants to be a stand-up comedian. Oh, please let me open for you. Please. Please let me open for you. I can be funny. I've never done comedy, but my dad thinks I'm funny. It's like, you know it's not a bit. You know she legitimately, because she's mentioned it in passing before, she legitimately would do this if she were given the opportunity. Or maybe she would choke when she does it. Who knows, right? Considering her debate with Anna Kasparian. She chokes under pressure. But Pearl's like, you know, the modern women, da-da-da-da. And Chrissy Mayer, you're a mom. You can't do this, this, and that. Why are you doing this, this, and that? And then here she is, like, wanting to be a stand-up comedian like Chrissy Mayer. Incredible. I have no words. Insanity. But yeah, she says, I've never done comedy, but my dad says it's funny. You should let me open for you, or double open if you have someone doing that. It could be a surprise. Like, actually trying to coax Leonarda into, Leonarda, let her embarrass herself. Do it. Let her be pathetic and skinwalk Chrissy Mayer, because she was seething about her. She really just hates whoever she can't be. Just like with Brett Cooper. And again, I was critical of Brett Cooper. I just laid it out on stream, right? So, with that said, I still think pretty clearly Pearl is jealous of Brett Cooper. She wanted to be at the Daily Wire. She was seething over Brett for a long time. She called Brett a 6 out of 10 at best, like on a good day, so to speak. And meanwhile, Pearl calls herself mid, meaning Pearl's putting herself on the same level as Brett Cooper. Regardless if you think Brett Cooper is attractive or not, I think it's fair to say, like, Brett Cooper at least does not have skin that looks like it's raisoning off of her skull, you know, because of lack of care. When Pearl's rich and she can afford skincare and lasering, and she really doesn't have an excuse, and criticizes other women and talks about what the ideals about being women are and what men want, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's just about the fact that she is a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite, and it doesn't make sense. And she wants to skinwalk all the women she criticizes. She wants to be them. She sees. I can give another example. Another example of this is when Pearl got on women's case. These are like professional broadcasters, whatever. And they need to put on makeup for the camera to look good in front of the camera because the way harsh lights are, etc. Everyone knows, men wear makeup on camera, right? You wear makeup on camera. And she starts getting on their case randomly. Just these random women like, oh, you guys are conservative, but you wear makeup on the camera, right? And it's well done makeup. It's not like a shitty like Pearl's. And then Pearl, after that, proceeds to do the worst makeup you've ever seen in your life. Looked like she used 20-year-old eyeliner, crusty shit, like all over her eye. And it's not intentional. It's not grungy. She just doesn't know how to do it. And it comes from a place of insecurity, a place of not knowing how to do it, a place of her feeling ugly, because she's like always talking about, I'm certified mid, right? But the reality is she's criticizing those women about having makeup to go on camera because she doesn't know how to do makeup, and because she feels ugly in it, because she doesn't know how to do it, and it does look bad on her. So she just wants to be every person. She wants to be every person she criticizes. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. That was a lot of talking. I need to get some water. Okay, where was I? I think there was something I missed over here. Let me make sure I'm going through it. Let me turn this down a little bit. But yeah, I had a lot to say about that, and it was just really something. Thank you.
Let's call it what it is. Desperation for an audience.
Which I don't know why are people like that? Like, for example, Pearl comes from a very wealthy family. Her mom's running for a government position. Her dad is so rich he like named a street after her, according to her. And in Brett Cooper's case, she already made her money with Daily Wire, and her husband, I'm sure, is providing for her. She can just chill. I don't understand it. I know if they want to have fun or whatever, but I don't know, is embarrassing your husband fun? Or in Pearl's case, embarrassing herself? Or her sugar baby doing it for her, that clearly doesn't give a flying F about her.
Apparently, the more Dagon you are, the more legions that leave any commitments behind to get their rocks off.
The more legions that leave any commitments behind to get their rocks. Is that a run-on sentence? I don't know what you meant by that, to be honest.
Let's call it what it is.
Right now.
Desperation for an audience.
Maybe I got brain damage from having to go over all this. Maybe that's what it is.
Uh-oh, Brett is competing for Clav. Nick is definitely gonna do a little investigation and use his black light on Clav. Go off, Queen Fuentes, don't let him get away.
Yeah, I know. The black light. If you guys didn't know, I think it was like his roommate was saying he like got a black light to see if he left any cummies on the couch or something.
Brett's lip doing a lot of work keeping that drool.
She would have honestly been better off saying nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know, like, she should draw the boundary. She should just draw the line very briefly. I understand it's like, oh, you don't want to feed him more attention, whatever. But just, like, say something about, like, how you disrespect your family and that you are not okay with it. Something. But if you're not going to do that, then why even follow up with the video, right? But, yeah. Lot of lip moving, not much coming out, right? Other than fake bullshit.
What's worse than a conservative influencer? Not much.
It's not looking good because of it's whoever's willing to do the worst stuff, they get ahead. So I think that's part of it too.
People don't realize how important not embarrassing your partner is to a relationship, even if you have to be rude.
Yeah, because your partner is an extension of you. So what they say and do reflects you. That's why, like, I'm sure billionaires, from what I understand anyway, or multimillionaires as well, they make sure they pick their wives and it's someone that's not going to impact their business negatively because they reflect them. It's not always the case. I know a lot of people make fun of Jeff Bezos, but usually they try to be discerning. But yeah, thank you, Brody says, for the 5.
I remember when Brett shit on Chrissy Mayer for her criticism of Whitney Cummings, and then CM went to Brett's NYC show and met her there.
Wukong, they smash yet? I don't know. Maybe they'll collab again. At this point, you might as well get something out of it if you're gonna embarrass your husband like that. At least do it for our entertainment at this point. Thank you, Eli, for the $20 super chat. I love Booty Shake 199 super chat. You're so beautiful. I'm attracted. Thank you for streaming. Somebody had to say it. Sam Lim, I don't offer those services. But you can start by with colors that look good on you. Look at like, okay, honestly, here's my unconventional advice for people who want to better understand what colors look good on them and like what colors they can like kind of get away with. Use ChatGPT and just have it analyze you. It won't be 100% accurate all of the time, but if you give it like 5 photos of like different lighting and explain like, hey, this photo's with this lighting, this photo's with warm lighting, this photo's blah blah blah, and you like wear different colors, whatever, and you send it to GPT, it'll do a decent job at telling you what colors you can and can't get away with. It won't just say, oh, good or bad. It can also tell you like, can you get away with this? You know, if you wear it this way, if you wear your neckline lower, stuff like that, or if you darken your makeup, in women's case, you can look better and make the colors you want to wear work for you. In some cases you won't be able to because it's just that bad of a color on you, so why work against it? But there are cases where you can kind of adjust like accessories or like your neckline, how far away from your face it is, adjust your hair color, whatever, and kind of make the color theory work for you.
$135 is a sad number. Dudes can't bench that without trying. BTW, the greatest fear of a goth would be breaking a nail. Also, taking test at 14 would mess you up like that for life. Maybe that's why he's such a maxer.
I mean, clearly, right? I don't think you get away scot-free taking all that stuff at 14. I just don't think you get away scratch-free. He like graped himself, you know? You're impossibly pretty, thanks for streaming. Did you say that more than once? Oh, you did. See, okay, can I be honest for a second? I mean, I'm always honest, but what I mean is like, can I be like slightly vulnerable for like 1 second? Like, am I allowed to do that for 1 second? So, if it goes wrong, I'm never doing it again. Okay? So, sometimes when people, okay, there is a double standard, and it's that men can be parasocial and have a lot less consequences for doing so because they'll tend to attract other guys watching them, because usually the guys aren't really that good looking either, so they're not really attracting that many women. They'll attract some for entertainment, but it's not like, oh, they're in love with them or something, right? So, like, men can kind of get away with at least partially being parasocial and, like, kind of bonding with people and being like, yeah, my bro, whatever. And I don't think women are really afforded that same thing, because if you're an attractive woman and then, like, you're too warm to a guy, then they're gonna, like, feel like you're flirting with them or whatever. And then it becomes parasocial. And it's understandable why the dynamic is different. But with that said, because of that and being aware of that, and also just having bad experiences of like people turning on me because they have expectations of me, like it's been pretty much a repeated theme that if I am nice to someone, and then this is like in terms of like varying degrees. It ranges from online to like actually in real life people who may be like a terminally online person, whatever. But usually it's like I will be nice or like slightly warm, like the slightest amount of warmth and attention to someone, right? Just to like if I'm being friendly to them, I'm not like cheesing, right? I mean, I laugh with my friends, but you know what I mean? I'm not like flirting with like guys and whatever, like to get people to tip me, whatever. I'm not about the like that kind of life. And so basically I've learned along the way that if I'm even slightly nice or warm to people, that like beyond like a basic like thank you or whatever, that they have expectations of me and they expect more out of me, and then they like turn on me and go psychotic. And I've had this happen a lot, to the point like to points which you guys wouldn't even believe how horrific it has gotten. And like to the point of like sending people in real life to try to like break up a relationship. It's gotten that bad. I won't get into it because like it's really not like the main point here. The main point I want to make is that I feel like I do understand, like, Brett Cooper is a naturally warm person, and I do empathize with that. She wants to not have those consequences that I've gotten, right? I do empathize with that a little bit, but I think it's smarter to be a little mindful, because even when I'm mindful, even then people went psycho on me and turn on me. It's like the moment I just like focus on my own life and do my own thing and focus on my world, then everyone like that had these expectations of me, suddenly like they're going psycho because I'm not giving them enough attention or something, and they're entitled to that attention. And so I think that is an unfortunate part of being a woman online, is that you can't really, it's not like, hey, my bros, like how other guy streamers can. And it does suck. Like I can't be more friendly, even if I wanted to, because any time that I've been friendly, it's turned into psychotic situations because they feel entitled to my attention, they feel entitled to me, and they go psycho. And that's what I've been taught. It's kind of like living in New York. You make eye contact with a homeless person, they try to punch you. It's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make eye contact with homeless people anymore. I'm going to look past them. And I wasn't even intentionally doing it. The door's open. The homeless guy happened to be there. And I'm like trying to go in the train. And he like tries to punch me and then runs away. So yeah, it does suck that I can't really be like too friendly. And so with me knowing that and then seeing the Brett Cooper thing, on one hand I understand and it does suck, but on the other hand it's like, how can you put yourself in that position to that extent, and then you see the backlash and then you continue to do it? That's my perspective on it. I don't know if that's super eloquent of a way to say it, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. That people feel super entitled to, regardless if you personally find me attractive or not, some people do, and then they feel entitled to me if I give them any amount of attention or kindness or genuinely try to be friendly, and then it's suddenly they go psycho if I focus on myself. And I've had this happen a lot, and I don't know what it is about me that causes that in people. I think it's maybe a projection thing, but it is unfortunate. But with that said, you have to live in the world that you live in and not the world that you would want to live in. Like, you have to live in reality as it is. And reality as it is that it's not safe for me to go around smiling at every person like how Brett Cooper does, because it gets you into bad situations. So, a lot of time people will say that I come across like a bitch because of it, and I think I come across like a bitch for different reasons. So I disagree with them on that. But anyway, yeah, I think that people often get that impression of me for the wrong reason, when it should be because I'll roast you. No, I'm joking. Like, I roast people that deserve it, for at least for the most part. like Pearl being basically hypocrites, like Pearl being a hypocrite, stuff like that. And I used their own logic against them, like, well, you said this, so why are you doing it? Why are you doing the same thing? Right? But yeah, just to be real for 2 seconds, and like, as funny as it is, as much as like this is a good learning situation with the Brett Cooper thing, I do understand that it sucks that you can't be overly friendly to people, and that they do take it the wrong way, and that they do make up stories. But with that said, I think Brett is not being mindful of how to operate in the world we live in, and it comes across very disrespectful to her family.
Put the ball in her court. Imagine a woman saying she will get YouTube censorship, her husband, repeatedly and vulgarly, and he goes to meet her lol.
It would be like, it wouldn't be a fun time for them. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's stuff like that that makes people not want to date other people in media. It's really not, like, that, doing that is not a desirable attribute. Like, going and meeting someone after they like flirt with you and make fun of your significant other, it's not desirable.
Did you ever date a man who didn't know how to put a spare tire on? Do you consider that masculine to put a tire on?
Well, here's the problem, Joshua. People can lie. You wouldn't know until you're in the situation. You're not really getting in a situation every day where you have a spare tire in the trunk and then the person puts it on, because, like, that's just... Do I consider it masculine? Sure, it's, like, masculine, but it seems like a good thing to just know in general. I wish I knew how to do it, but I didn't have a dad to teach me or anything.
Good day, Venti. I can bench 130 pounds at age 14. I can bench about 200 pounds now. Young guys should not use supplements. They should let their body form normally.
Any supplements at all? What about, like, methylene blue, for example? I like methylene blue. It's a supplement that they use for medical treatments sometimes, and it gives you energy, and I do find that it helps. I take other supplements too, but I don't feel like listing literally 12 other supplements right now. I have a lot of health issues, that's why. So I kind of need some of these to function. But yeah, age 14, benching 130, it's like, how can he present himself as the authority of, like, looks maxing, and look at me, I don't want to get frame mobbed, like, and you can't even do what an average guy does? An average boy? That's insane. Yeah, zinc's pretty good. It's good for your skin. Magnesium glycinate's really good before bed. I'm a big fan. Helps with migraines. Ginger helps a lot too for migraines. I drink a lot of ginger tea. Anyway. Sorry for your bad experiences. Just think you're pretty. Yeah, and it's not just me. It's not because, like, I'm so special. I'm not trying to make it seem that way. I think this is just, like, something that happens to women in general, but I do think with me in particular that people will project a little bit more and have more expectations of me for whatever reason it is. And which it's really annoying. Imagine you're not leading someone on at all and they just do that as a response as if you did. And they're going crazy or whatever. And this isn't, like, by the way, I'm not just talking about guys here. I'm also saying this has happened with women as well on multiple occasions. This is not a simp exclusive thing for guys. Just to put that out there. Like, I'm not, like, honing in on one thing in particular. I'm just thinking back and I'm like, yeah, there's been a lot of instances of this. Thank you, Black Farm Girl, for the $5.
Jesus. I'm so glad I'm not a woman. You must have men in your face every time you step outside.
I think that's any woman in New York who's not overweight, to be honest with you. Thank you, Tom Taggart.
The reason I'm here tipping is because I legit think you do good with your writing, and in general, your humor and takes resonate well. I try to support what I enjoy, so that it keeps coming.
Thank you. It certainly helps and does motivate me. I felt pretty motivated that so many people were subbing to my Substack. So I do plan to write more on there. I just haven't because birthday stuff and I was hungover. And then I want to do this stream. And then I also have a couple of videos that I really want to do. So I will make time to write articles for Substack though. But sometimes I'll go to write an article and I'm like, oh, this would be a good stream though. So that's also a problem.
So apparently alpha/beta is prison behavior. Clavis fitting in how he can. Makes sense.
Well, I'm pretty sure they like makeshift makeup in prison. I think he would, you know, he would find his place. But yeah, my if you guys want to check out my Substack, it is the same. It's Brittany Venti. And also, again, if you want to support the stream and you need soap, you can always get some soap and candles on reidsoap.shop. And these are the ones that I helped design. There's a couple in the normal collection that I helped design as well from a while back. But yeah, buy anything from here, really. It's all very good. Oh, she made another batch of this. Hauling at the Moon is super cool. Look at this. Look how it glows. We had started development of glow-in-the-dark soaps a while back. And continued it ever since. This is the Ayla Mal one. This one's been doing really good. So yeah, grab some soap. Grab some candles. Here's the link in the chat if you guys want to take a look. They use Kool-Aid for lipstick. Yeah. They use you know what else they use? They use Jolly Ranchers for makeup as well. You missed my earlier super chat? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. You submax to the Substack. Hold on, I'm still scrolling. Trying to find it. How long ago was it? My God. They find a way? Yeah, they're very creative in the stuff that they do. That's why people were impressed with Luigi Mangione, where he had like a fresh haircut. Apparently that's like a status symbol, means that the inmates really like him or whatever. Oh my goodness, I do not see it. Am I blind? Blam Sandwich, thank you for the $5. It's true that women can't be friendly with men. It's kind of sad, but the upside, men can set themselves apart a bit by not being too attached. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not a good friendship if you have expectations, right? If it's opposite gender or whatever. $5 from Towns. Nick Fuentes just bought your soap just to drop it. Now you guys are writing fan fiction, huh? Though it's closer to reality, I would say. Like, I mean, like, my soaps are, like, looks maxed, actually. come to think of it. Still trying to find it. What if I was just being trolled the whole time? Well, Clav does better makeup than Pearl. That's actually true. Unfortunately, I do have to give credit where it's due. Yeah, I don't see it. Dang. I'll have to read it after the stream, sorry. Your soaps are really cute though. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, I saw Denim's response to me. Hold on. It was let me see if I have it on here. Where would it be under? Oh yeah. She said something like, wait, where is it? Oh, right. I have it downloaded. I don't have it on here right now. But Denim said something to me like, because I had mentioned that her OF was very cheap looking. And I was like, why is your OF so cheap looking? Why you should take a mirror's advice and like not sitting here thinking, oh, my political opinion is so important. Like, you're an OnlyFans girl and your OF looks cheap. And she took that as like, as if I was talking about the math of it. And then she was condescending to me, Denims. She was condescending to me, being like, oh, what is with the conservatives? Can they not do math? A lot of people giving $10 is actually a lot of money. Like, condescending, explaining. It's like, I was talking about your OF banner looking cheap. Like, you look nasty. You look cheap. You look like you don't cost a lot of money. You also don't cost a lot of money. Coincidentally, that's how much you sell yourself for, but that's not the point I was making of like, oh, actually, a lot of people pay $10 for my butt, so actually it's worth a lot of money. No, she completely took it and condescending about it, took it the wrong way, and then condescended about it. It was crazy. It's like, you're telling me I can't do math? Then clearly, bitch, you can't do English. You can't speak English because you're talking about math when I'm talking about that you aesthetically look cheap. She's laying down on the floor. I'm not going to reenact it, but she's laying down on the floor with her ass up, and it looks like some sort of like amateur porn. It wasn't even like, it's not in a cute way. It looks like catching something in the wild, but like, you know, in a living room. It just came across very cheap. But no, she thinks I'm talking about that she charges $10 a month. I mean, that's funny. That's kind of a cell phone that you thought I was talking about, how you're literally charging $10 a month or whatever. But no, I meant like aesthetically, Denims looks very cheap, like not put together. Trash maxing. Yeah, it looked very trashy. I wish I had the clip to play, but I don't have it on me right now. I have it saved on my other computer. Thank you, BM, for the $4.
That birthday candle is pretty good. I feel inspired to get that rain-smelling candle too. I live in the desert and it doesn't rain often, but when it does, it's a real nice smell. Anyways, thanks for the soap.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of my favorites is the chocolate strawberry scent. If you guys want it, it comes free with every order right now. We're still running the promo. What the fuck is the Denims? She's this streamer who like wants to be Hassan but also talked shit about him before, and so now she's like trying to be a contrarian. She also tried to allegedly sleep with Destiny, and then Destiny was like, I'm not going to be there actually. So then she didn't even get to sleep with him. And it's real dumpster fire, honestly. And she was getting on Amiru's case because she was like, you need to be political about everything. How could you say that you don't have a political opinion on ice? You're a cosplayer. You need to have political opinions. And it's because she's projecting and she's an OF girl and she thinks her opinions matter on politics. Like, you made it so your own body doesn't matter. What do you think your political opinion matters? Know your lane. Like, Amira stayed in her lane. She's like, I'm a cosplayer. I'm not giving my political opinion. And then, unfortunately, she, like, bent the knee, and then clearly it didn't help. And then Denims doubled down. So that's basically what happened. And then me responding to that is what led to Denims replying to me on stream being like, conservatives can't even do math, when I called her a cheap prostitute, when I was clearly commenting on her aesthetically looking cheap and trashy. You know what Denims looked like on her OF banner? I'm going to tell you what she looked like. She looked like one of the Epstein Files photos. Like, you know how there's just, like, kids running around with their faces blacked out? It literally looked like that. It's the same photography style. That's what I mean when I say it looks like something, like, you caught it in the wild, kind of, but in the living room. That's what I mean. It's giving Epstein Files, her banner. Like, if you censored her face, you would have thought it was an Epstein Files photo. It just looked very cheap and trashy, very unprofessional. She's not even, like, a high-class whore. If you're gonna be a prostitute, like, shouldn't you try to be a little more high-class and professional about it? So it doesn't look like it's part of the fucking Epstein Files? Purposely misunderstanding stuff, big surprise. Yeah, they do love doing that. I don't know if it was intentional in this instance, though. It could just be that she just was being stupid, considering that she was, like, condescending and everything. Or maybe she did it on purpose to, like, stoke the flames. I don't know. But it was pretty funny to me that she would condescend, saying, I can't understand math, when she literally misinterpreted what I said about her looking cheap/trashy, when it was very clear that that's what I meant. Oh yeah, and then also, if you're wondering who Denims is, she also defended incest. She was like, actually, she pulled Destiny. Actually, it's not technically immoral if they're consenting. She said that. So that went viral too after the Amiru stuff. It's a ride.
I'm not cheap. A lot of men pay me $10 to see my of. Lol.
Yes, she unironically said this. I wish I had the clip right now to show you guys, but I don't. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Space Trash. I think... Wait, was that the same person? Yeah, Space Trash. I found your earlier super chat. So I hope you see this. I had to go in the thing, like, Control F it. Part of me thinks she might be realizing she got married too young and too fast and didn't have time to really date, but I could be wrong. Oh, yeah. So that's something else I wanted to say, actually. You reminded me. So, basically... I think it is true that marriage is partially treated like an accessory online. It is partially a status thing. And while getting married is nice, And I think it should be a positive thing. It shouldn't be like how the red pill says, don't get married, whatever. I think you should wait for the right person that actually fits you and not like rush into it for status or whatever, because then you're just going to end up divorced. Because they say statistically, if you like, I think it's like you turn 30 or something, or 27, I forget which one. I think it's 30. You turn 30, you've successfully avoided your first divorce. And there's some truth to that. I have friends that are divorced around there. So, yeah. People are pressured into it. And I understand it comes from a good place sometimes to like want people to get married and, you know, have kids and continue on the human race and everything. But it is partially being treated as an accessory and a power symbol. You know, and these are real lives. These are real children who are going to get hurt from it. Like with the Elijah Schaefer thing. His poor children. I'm not saying be unrealistic, but like rushing into it's certainly not the answer. It seems very destructive.
Glad to see you're back.
Thank you, Real, for the $4.99. She ethically, but why try to make that argument? Because here's the thing with these people. They like to do this intellectual jerk-off thing. Destiny did the same thing. It's this like postmodernist intellectual jerk-off thing, contrarian bullshit. And Nick Fuentes does it too, where they say something and they like purposely try to say the opposite thing to try to prove that they can justify it, because they're like, I'm so smart, I could justify anything, and they like get off on it. And they think it is a good way of getting attention as well. They don't actually believe that belief necessarily.
My mother and father been married for 42 years. They both said, marriage is work and require a lot of patience.
Yeah. I think relationships in general require a lot of patience. But you should feel like really attracted to the person. I'll say that. I think when you get with someone, it's ideal to feel like even if you had 1,000 choices that you would, 1,000 is like too little, to be honest. Like even if you could choose almost any person on earth, that you would still choose them. Like you could, like you actually have your picking. You could actually get anyone you want, of any status, any kind of look, and you would still pick that person regardless of that. And I think that's a big mistake, to pick someone where you wouldn't pick them over everyone else. Whether that's based on like smell, looks, personality, all of the above, whatever. Like your general attraction. Guy named Gray, 2 Canadian. I hope this ends up on Casino. The Brett Cooper stuff? I don't know. Maybe they'll cover it. They probably would be one of the only people that would understand where I'm coming from with my take on it.
I might sound like cheesy, marrying someone. It's almost like finding your soulmate.
Guys, don't get too gay or I'm gonna leave. Thank you for the $5, Dragon. Whoa, buddy. I like how I tell, okay, this person in chat, hold on. Let me show this. We need to witness this together. Where is it? It's over. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. I have to move this over so you guys can see. I just searched this denim chick y'all talking about, and she low-key got the cake. I like how I tell you she's justifying incest and how it's actually can be consensual, and your reaction is, hey nigga, his look at that ass, so fat. Like, what the guys, this is what I'm talking about. Doing that is gonna get you straight into a divorce. You're gonna overlook someone saying that has an OF that looks like a trashy, cheap prostitute and is talking about how actually the ethics of incest, and you're like, but she got that cake though. Unbelievable. Come from my chat, unbelievable. I should time him out for that. Should I time him out for that? That was like disgusting amounts of thirst. I think he needs to be timed out. He just gooned out in the open like it was a fucking New York subway.
Just find a guy who looks at you like Nick looks at clavicular. True love less than 3.
Yeah. That really is the key. No, really, it is like that. I'll be like, yeah, she thinks that incest can be okay and consensual. And then people be like, damn, I wish I was her brother. You know, hopefully she doesn't have siblings. Well, anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. My internet, for some reason, was messing up earlier. I don't know why. It decided it was great the other night, and now it decided today that it was going back to its old ways. Like a toxic ex. But I hope you guys enjoyed this court case of Brett Cooper being guilty of being a people pleaser and allowing her husband to look really bad and making him look even more cucked. I'm gonna have to sentence her to the kitchen. But have a good night, guys, and check out reidsoap.shop. I'll link it in the chat if you want some candles and soaps. Wait, Blam Sandwich $2 super chat. You